basically fighting of all kinds all the time.
Well, we're going to see Alistair. Tristana still goes away. Wonder what Curse's third ban is, because I'm predicting a Nunu to get dropped away by LMQ here. I don't think they want to repeat that performance. Ryze still goes away from Ackerman.
So they do ban out the Tristana once again on blue side, but leave up the Yasuo. Zed as well still available.
Oh, man.
The top lane has only been focused as far as the Alistar and Nidalee, with maybe Ryze also contributing to that pool. But man, does that leave up the Maokai? Was a big part of all the team fights. When he was there, they won all the team fights. There was one where he did not start with them, and they weren't able to take it. But as well, the Nunu not going to be available this time around. Dominate did not have as much success on Elise, either in controlling vision or in controlling the objectives. But he might just go right back to that one anyway, just because of the build path.
Well, Quas typed in the name, locked in the Yasuo. No surprise there, I think, for Internet on Curse. Or anyone watching this game, really. And of course, unless Ackerman steals away the Lulu.
Yeah, what do they want to trade for this?
Well, do they Lulu Maokai again to try to drop
Quas onto something
synergies?
else?
Yeah.
If they did that, I think that's a mistake against specifically Quas, because he is the Swain master, I guess. And running Swain into Maokai, we've seen it.
Well,
we've seen it in Europe, yeah. But it is definitely a possibility.
Sure.
And it's definitely something that we want to see.
I want to see
But you're right. The Mundo is what he went to last time.
He bought a Sunfire Cape hoping to burn down the tree. Did go something like 5-1-5 that game. Might see more of that. Cop, probably his 4th Corki in a row here, and Vasilii will probably play Lucian.
Now, I do want to point out that not only does LMQ take away a lot of setup for Yasuo here, but Maokai, he's basically the best partner for Yasuo and the best counter for Yasuo, because in teamfights, targeted snare, taking away the mobility of Yasuo is huge, and he can chain it with the knockup. Once you lock down Yasuo in a teamfight, it's pretty easy to focus him. So if they can keep him snared up and use these back-to-back knockups that they've got, then they could be able, they might enable them to turn the tables.
It's interesting. These sort of picks remind me of back when Urgot was popular in Season 2. And it was like, Urgot, then you have to pick Soraka with or against. You either give him mana to poke forever or the heal to keep him, like, keep your teammates alive in lane. And people said, you know what, never mind. We're going to go Leona and all in him at level 2. And they, like, just changed how the matchup was played. And so it's, when you see these, like, great pairings versus, like, great against champions, and you see someone, like, break perception go for an entirely different, like, champ style, I want to see if that shows up at all. Like a Kale, right? Like, hit through the wind wall, things like that. A different type of counter. But Kha'Zix, once again for NoName, finally hopping off the Lucian hype train and saying, you know what, Kha'Zix just has been better for me. Vasilii's been good all series, and he gets his 3rd straight Lucian.
Definitely going to be confident on that pick. Second favorite after the Trist, as we said. Elise is locked in once again for Dominate. See if he can rush that Sightstone this time around. NoName did do a very good job last time. I'll be interested to see if this time, if he does evolve the claws again, because of that point you made about Zed wanting to solo, whereas Yasuo, more often than not, would like to go for the team fights. He can be a split pusher himself as well, though.
True.
So that option is still there for for Voyboy. One wall for each squad too, so they have a decent amount of protection in the sieges. Not really heavily leaning one way or the other for these guys. Fairly rounded out teams. Bringing in that Shockwave will help out NoName a lot as well if he decides to jump in, along with Braum and Maokai. So many ways for that Shockwave to be set up, by the way.
Absolutely. And so many ways to set up the Yasuo as well. So pretty explosive fights I think we're going to be seeing here. And the duels will be fun as well. So we'll see how that goes on in this game. It's going to be a whole bunch of action. I predict at least 4 team fights this game. Kind of a low estimate. But of course, be sure to send in your votes to @LOLesports on Twitter and use the hashtag CRSWin or hashtag LMQWin to predict your winner. We'll be tracking the numbers throughout the series to see who you're predicting to win. Right now, LMQ trying to claw their way back in. 1-2 now in this best of 5. If Curse can win this game or the next, they are going as the final team from North America to the 2014 World Championship. Otherwise, LMQ needs the backdoor sweep, the full 3-0. They need the next two together.
And like Probably said, you know, sometimes it's easier for a team to rally like this. Yeah. They know their backs are against the wall right now. This is the last chance for LMQ. They had to win last game. They did it. They came up big. They know they can. And now they just have to keep it going. Curse, they really, really want to close it out here because they don't want it to go to a Game 5. No. But everybody here does. All the spectators want it to.
Unless you're a full diehard Curse fan. Then you're like 3-0 so I can cheer on my favorite team and go home. Curse, though.
Let's see, one sweeper start here for NoName. Maybe they'll do another delayed invade. They did it last time, and it really backfired on them.
Well, let's see the battle lines get drawn. Top laners heading towards the top side.
Welcome to Summoner's
And Cop every single time flies down to the mid lane. Just watches.
Yeah. Back to back to back to back Corki games for Cop. Has been a great pickup. These games have not gone very long. We have not gotten to 6 items so far.
Not quite, no. Game 1 was pretty long, but the rest have been convincing.
30 seconds until minions spawn.
Once again, defensive trinkets all around. 1 minute in to watch for late invades.
Yeah, they're not going to pull that again. Looks like standard lanes, too.
I like how trinkets have different sounds. If you ever listen in, it gets progressively higher pitched when like the first 3 come out. I think there's only 3 trinket sounds for the yellow trinket.
Variety.
Yep.
How much more boring would this game be if all trinket placements sound the same?
Beginning of
these games, that's really all we have in the beginning of these games are the trinket placements.
That and dance spam.
Sometimes you get the cleaver.
Come on, Vasilii.
Games. No cleavers here, though.
Nope.
All right, let's see. Blue starts for both. So Dominate ending his path down bottom. You know, these duos have not hesitated to make a lot of aggressive trades early. And Elise is a very potent level 3 ganker. Yeah. I always do like ganking bottom side from blue as well because there are multiple options for the blue team to make it bottom side, especially if the lane is pushing up. A lot of the duo lanes just for the tri-bush, and so you can actually exit through the top side of that river, get into the river, and hug your wall all the way down for a really good position on an early bottom gank. We'll see, though. Dominate has been preferring to go more of a farm style for the early route. Hasn't pulled off too many level 3 ganks this time around, which is saying something since Curse in the regular season, you know, gone off solid first bloods. Playoffs, though, have been a different story. They've been giving up a lot of the first bloods, especially around mid lane. Voyboy not going to let it happen this time. Early recall for some extra wards, I presume, because that's all the money that's the only thing you can have money for at this point in the game. There they are.
All right, so paying a lot of attention to where this Kha'Zix could be, and expecting the dissonance slow afterwards.
It's a smart buy. As we said, you know, Hai was one of the first mid laners to start that out, and it's because of the aggressive playstyle that Hai had playing up front a lot. There's been so much action in these games early on around that mid lane. Voyboy wants to get the vision down first. First one to vision gets a tremendous advantage. Gets to see the subsequent wards placed by their enemies, and he has done a good job of using any of that knowledge of opponents' wards against them.
Yeah. So we'll see how they play around this vision game then. Any outplays to be had here? Voyboy just clearing away minions, holding a little bit down in CS here, but he did recall once more.
Got some to clean up here. Dominate did pass on the early gank bottom. Cop and Xpecial once again pretty far up in this lane. Trading fairly effectively, put down in CS.
Oh, Voyboy going for the trade on a XiaoWeiXiao, gets the knock-up, walks on back.
In vision, XiaoWeiXiao daring Voyboy to come stop him.
Missed a CS.
Barely did not see NoName go there, so Dominate comes in for the first gank. Can he pop a summoner with a cocoon?
Oh, no, XiaoWeiXiao is much too far away. What? Okay, just kidding.
Well, he didn't pop a summoner. Good accuracy, though. You get bonus points even if you don't get anything out of it. LMQ. He's trying to draw him away from this pink ward, I think, with the aggression. Voyboy knows his pink ward's going down because he saw the direction NoName was headed.
It is Dominate leeching a little bit of XP, though. So if all else goes equal, XiaoWeiXiao will hit level 6 first. If that power spike is used, we'll see.
Ooh, Dominate at the Wolves, and NoName hovering around the backside here in a great position.
A lot of damage and Avoid gets the knock-up on toward NoName. Jumps in, W blocked by the wind wall, but the flash auto attack lands. Voyboy gets slowed down, but NoName can't reach much more. Trade of flashes.
Dominate left the wolf pack that he was working on, too. All right, come over here. Does go back to clean it up. Voyboy, he was playing safe. He went back for early wards. Very, very short lifespan on his pink ward.
Yeah.
That's always a heartbreaker. But he does still have a bit of vision bottom side, so he could hug bottom side of this lane. Being without a flash, though, the only reason he's sticking around is because XiaoWeiXiao is very low on mana, and he doesn't have a tremendous amount of threat.
Here's the thing, though. XiaoWeiXiao, when he levels up, has mana for Shockwave. Now, Voyboy has enough health to survive, but, like, the flash sombrero would be a kill if Voyboy were lower.
Maybe if NoName were in the vicinity, too. Not going to be the case, though. XiaoWeiXiao goes back. Voyboy gets his cannon minion wave. And we return to standard farming in lane for everybody. Voyboy did take a hit in CS because of his early back for vision and his trials with NoName.
So Quas does take a break to get some vision down. He will try to track NoName as he keeps pushing up aggressively here. Quas past the midpoint. Will NoName do anything about this? Ackerman is getting pushed around a little bit here. Even though you don't always see CS leads, sometimes you see a turret lead in lanes like this.
Yeah, getting a lot of turret damage down for Quas pretty early is pretty easy for Lulu. Ackerman's doing a great job sustaining, though. You can see it in the way that he buys not only health potions, but also mana potions. Because that does translate into more sustain for Maokai, being able to spam more spells to get off passive empowered auto attacks.
So nothing major aside from the summoner spell loss of Voyboy happens in the early game. Buffs respawn. Blue goes to XiaoWeiXiao. Other one goes to IWillDominate.
And things going calmly like this is definitely a pretty big win for NoName with Kha'Zix in the Elise matchup. If Elise doesn't get something that early on before he's able to evolve, it's always, a slight win for you. Dominate, though, here's his move he's looking to make through the pink ward. Doesn't even stop to clear it. Circles back, and they want to trade. What a call from LMQ.
This is really good.
Give up red. Give up red. Trade it for dragon. They don't even have to give up red. Dominate doesn't go through with the steal. Bottom lane for Curse not there. Xpecial finds out too late.
This is going to be a very nice early dragon for LMQ. The 80 carry recall timers, they used that. And got themselves dragon and a 1,400 gold lead for it.
Woo!
And a
the
big
call. What is this? Such perfect time because bottom lane head back for Curse, and LMQ saw Curse go with the red side invade. So all of these things combined opened up a very clear path for LMQ to get that early dragon. And it's a good job of NoName to recognize it, jump on the early objective.
So far, so good for LMQ then. They're way back in this series. Winning game 4 now. They're tied up 2-2 if they keep it going this way. NoName continues removing wards. These cursed pink wards are dying, honestly, pretty rapidly. He's investing a lot.
He's doing a lot of roaming, NoName here, into the river. And pretty much every time he does go back in, there's more for him to take out. Ooh, look at this setup, too. Ackerman trying to take out the pink ward. Let's see. NoName will be very happy to see that his red actually is still there.
He does on top of a ward, so at least Curse gets the timer, but it's a basically unanswered dragon came in for LMQ a little while ago. Now, Curse playing that sort of farming style on Elise. Not getting much for it. Quas goes back to the top lane, but is suddenly actually behind in minions against Ackerman. So that match has been going better and better. The mid lane also going well for LMQ. There's Orianna pickup doing nicely. And Vasilei's winning his lane 2 against Cop. Down the line, LMQ are outperforming.
They are 100% outperforming so far. The momentum's still with them from that last game. The early dragon, very easy for them, which means that for the second dragon, where they really want to fight, they'll get to use the gold lead, try and force something out of Curse, and it really puts Curse in a hard spot. Makes them try and get down the early vision, see if they actually want to contest it, because second dragon is a much better fight for Maokai as well. Lucky for LMQ, you know, top laners didn't even have to come fight for that.
Quas getting a little better this trade finally. Both, actually only Quas burn teleport. Ackerman still has his in case he wants to turn something around. Dominate again at pink ward in this brush. Will make his trip up here unspotted.
NoName though is on the same clear path here. Gonna be in the vicinity for a counter gank. Fortunately, actually for Curse, they don't decide to go for that dive.
All right, 1600 though. Gold's actually going slightly up for LMQ over time in the laning phase.
See how this Twisted Advance sets up the gank. It would still be difficult to pull off and get more than a flash out of this, even if they were able to land it.
But Quas does have no ulti, so that's at least a nice bright point for LMQ.
Or it expires before they're able to kill it. I don't know, I really like lane ganks for Kha'Zix Maokai lane. Just because it's, you know, post level 6 for Kha'Zix and he can use the speed and invisibility from his ult. It's really all you need in one of those lanes with Maokai. They don't decide to pull it off though. Dominate again, working for the vision control. Gets one behind the red buff.
And so we're watching the 11 CS lead Vasilii here up against Cop. Basically 10% up here. And he's been one of the star performers of this series. Repeatedly doing very well. His Lucian especially. It's been hard for Curse to keep him down. And I do like the build. It's basically one of the crit builds, very auto attack reliant. But because he's such a big damage source, because Ackerman is repeatedly playing tanks, I think it's the right choice, sort of. He's not so much a mid-game power spike, but a team fighter.
Here he is. Maybe they will go for the lane gank. NoName coming in. They get the combo down. Can he gain range?
Quas gets the ulti. NoName does not land this low thanks to a flash from Quas, but it is still a summoner spell lost.
Maybe a little rushed, but they did get a summoner spell out of it. Kha'Zix not able to get into the side bushes. The lane was pushed up fairly far. Man, constant ward clearing here from both teams. Not many champions have gone down, but a ridiculous number of wards have been cleared.
Yep. Everyone stopped cheering for them.
Too many. Don't restart it.
One of my favorite league memes.
Blue buff handoff usually is something that you can actually take advantage of if you have a Yasuo mid, since he doesn't need the handoff. But really all they get out of it is a wave shove. XiaoWeiXiao misses one minion. One minion only.
Nicely done. Leaves the ball there. Dissonances the cannon.
Infinity Edge completed for Vasilii. He's made it the entire way. He's got control of the lane. See what second item he decides to go for this time around, though.
Oh, look at this. So you give Orianna blue buffs, you give Voyboy red buffs.
Well, it also gives him level 11 in time for a dragon. I think that is even more crucial.
That is big.
Let's see if they actually make it work out for them. Ackerman's heading down there. He's level 10. The crowd's excited for some action. They want this to be fought over.
Half health on a dragon. LMQ staying around TP.
There's a split. Rockets from the bottom side.
Quas gonna get the top lane turret for this as the team buys time, and LMQ just back off.
Advantages slowly going in Curse's favor the longer LMQ wait. Since they committed to this, they have to force.
Oh, the flash engage, the multi-man knock-up, and the shockwave hits as well. Voyboy dies before he can act at all. First blood to Ackerman. NoName gets out safe. Dominate cannot chase that kill down, and more kills start coming in for LMQ. Dominate also screwed. This should be 4 kills and some follow-up for LMQ.
They did not have a chance. As soon as the flash twisted advance, that's why we say Maokai and Yasuo is a love-hate relationship. If he's on the other team, he just got locked. Whoa, 15-minute Baron spawn, Baron kill here.
Holy crap. Well, Vasilii's already got an Infinity Edge, so he is the damage source here for this one. NoName also using his
is he evolved Quas first? No, he's got
no,
wings.
he's still got
big
wings, but it's still rank 3Q. And this dragon not touched. The Baron gonna go down. It took them 20 seconds, but they got it. A 15-minute Baron for LMQ.
Woo! LMQ switch into the see Baron, kill Baron strategy here. Worked out for them last time. Very decisive Baron calls. This time around, uh-oh.
Ooh, good flash. XiaoWeiXiao stays safe.
Dragon consolation prize. Let's see if Curse can jump on this. LMQ headed right back for it. And they will be able to get it. Baron buff should easily secure that for them. They also have the teleport advantage because Ackerman committed to the fight walking down there before. So definitely going to pick up that extra gold too. Huge mid-game boost here for LMQ. And they should run straight up to another turret, force some more action with this.
Wow. They don't even have a turret kill yet, but they're going to get their second dragon and the Baron in this 4-kill lead. 6,000, well, 5,500 gold lead for LMQ.
They've got Baron buff, they've got teleport advantage on top lane. They have a huge amount of power right now, which with to work with. Let's see where the call is. XiaoWeiXiao heading back to base for his purchase. Large boost in AP, and they just stay split, actually. NoName back to the jungle, and bottom lane going to try and do it all themselves to pick up the first turret.
Interesting.
2 versus Voyboy should be able to do it.
Yeah. Meanwhile, though, Cop and Xpecial are shoving up. Vasilii will take down the bottom outer turret. That's LMQ equalizing the turret game. XiaoWeiXiao able to play defense fairly safely. He does have to respect hooks, though, with his flash down, but Curse don't make much headway.
Yeah, LMQ pretty much with carte blanche right now.
Ooh.
Can go wherever they want. They have so many tools for forcing fights as well. Looks like it will be that mid lane they set their sights on. Ackerman not going to join just yet. All he has to do, though, is get out of range of Quas.
You can see the ball pushed forward by XiaoWeiXiao, trying to zone back Curse, and it does so successfully. Mid lane outer goes down as well, and LMQ are still pushing.
Only the minions are the casualties for LMQ. They will have a cannon minion wave coming down, though. Voyboy's doing some work split pushing. Probably a good call by Curse because they can't fight the 5-on-5. Would turn into a bad call if he gets caught. He's got some vision. Can he get out of this?
Voyboy gonna get slowed down. He does not have a turret. Great shockwave. Boy's got almost nowhere to go. Windwall comes out. Doesn't matter. NoName and XiaoWeiXiao take him down. Now Quas does dodge the Q, but gets knocked up anyway. Vasilii gonna be able to land the stun. Maybe, yes, he will. The ward helps. Moore lands another slow. Quas gets exhausted, and that is another kill. LMQ taking complete control of this game.
LMQ want this one to go the distance. Game 5 already in their sights. Only 18 minutes in to Game 4 here, and LMQ are already looking towards the finish line. 6-0 on kills, 10,000 gold lead.
Xpecial and Dominate gotta be careful. NoName goes in and says, get away from me. Lander keeps Dom safe, but LMQ.
Ackerman teleports bottom.
Oh my gosh, not quite in range. Top lane under fire though. Vasilii's gonna grab turret number 5. They got 5 turrets in 3 minutes.
15-minute Baron. Yeah, I don't see that every day.
No.
But man, what a move from LMQ. They definitely earned this one. Curse fans starting to get worried here because such a strong back-to-back performance here from LMQ, making their resurgence. We'll see though, still early in the game. They have to close it out.
And Voyboy did get his Yasuo this game, but just wasn't
Well, you know, like we said, there's so many things from champs like LMQ brought. Well, Yasuo's biggest strength, you know, aside from knockups, is the mobility that he does bring. Take away mobility, and he did not get to do anything in that fight, by the way.
No, he didn't.
Flash twisted advance from Ackerman into the ulti from Moore. He was almost dead before he even had a split second out of CC.
Yeah. I mean, that's just kind of the point, though, is that there is so much complexity to this game, right? There is so much to consider other than first pick X champion, win the game. Some would believe that's all it takes.
Voyboy here does have Quas
Red team's turn.
in the backpack.
All right, Ackerman in a 1v2, but his team is joining pretty soon.
Litter lands miss.
And he's still on the retreat. There's the knockup. There's the ulti, and Ackerman at 600 health. Here comes NoName Whimsy. The blast shield that keeps Ackerman alive. This is now horrible for Voyboy and Quas. Vasilii comes in with double buffs. Culling doesn't do much with the flash in. NoName gets the slow. Dodges the tornado. Voyboy gonna be falling. And now can Quas get away? Looks like he's gotten the root in. Does not get slowed. Ulti. Nope. Lantern.
They get a turret out of it. Cost them their leader's health, though. Voyboy goes down. 1 kill for mid-outer turret. Curse will take that. They're definitely on their back foot here. Anytime that LMQ are spent not pressuring, and anytime that they can have LMQ running around the map chasing is great for Curse, because they want to buy time. And they did get some global gold out of it. So Voyboy and Quas able to take up the time of all 5 members for a while here. But it is a very, very small prize for Curse. They've got a long way to go to come back. 1 foot in front of the other, though.
Well, they're going to put their feet right in front of the mid lane tier 2, though this will be dying rather quickly. The Dragon's up for them in 40 seconds, but for now, turrets and minions are their focus.
Will they go for the dive here? Shockwave ready. Delivery system available.
Hook onto more Cocoon as well. The Flay, the minions are almost dead, but not quite, so no turret shots help. LMQ are able to walk away with their lives.
Yeah, a lot of health bars lost there. Big chunk taken out. Curse got him on the run, but they have to be very careful. They're playing with a very, very dangerous animal here.
Uh-oh, here he comes. The fight is engaged. Shockwave picks up 1. The battle goes in 2 for 0 so far as Voyboy falls. Nice knock it from Quas. But it's still a 2 for 0 for LMQ.
That should probably be another objective for LMQ. Moore is the only one really too low to continue. Looks like they're recalling, though, in time for Baron. No, they're going to just do Baron. Double sweepers. Triple sweepers. Wasted.
There are no
Luckily
wards there.
for them, it doesn't matter.
And a 4th one used on Baron, but there was no vision in the first place. This is going to be a rapidly dying Baron. No one's going to try to take this. It's instead going to be Curse taking Dragon as a response. But LMQ would complete control this game.
All right, let's see if they just immediately return to that mid lane with this newfound Baron buff regeneration. Stop off and get a blue buff maybe. They need a respawn. Didn't quite time that one. Ackerman just going to hold his own in that top lane. Let's see how much gold he has.
Close to 2K for everybody. So LMQ are taking the time to collect the objectives, push the waves out, recall safely, then come back in with items. Kind of the best way to cement a lead. You don't leave any openings up.
Oh man, XiaoWeiXiao. He's got the trifecta of mid lane powerhouse items ready to roll for this next fight. That shockwave will be devastating on whoever he catches. Ackerman going to be going for split push here, though, it looks like. Maokai going to try and AoE shove that lane to bring it up to par. And they'll probably sit outside of mid. Now, the actual siege, they do have Braum wall, you know, to protect by Vasilii sometime to get in there for a couple of ticks. But they have to worry. There's still this Yasuo combo. Lulu can wild growth somebody. Honestly, though, LMQ have such a hefty lead right now. There's not too much they have to worry about as long as they play the siege slowly. And they will be headed to their game 5. They're playing very cautiously, though, and they do wait for that blue buff spawn. They are going to stop off and pick that one up before they go with their siege.
Very patient by LMQ.
Yeah, they're waiting for the last ticks of this Baron buff. They're going to have to be careful about how long they wait here. It still has a good
2 minutes.
Over half duration left on it, though. So, yeah, plenty of time left for the last shove.
Should time out around 27 minutes into the clock. Slightly before then, but not by too much. And mid lane is going to be the focus. Now, Curse already did put some wards down, so they see this coming.
Thing is, there's a lot of poke here from LMQ as well.
Shockwave! There's the engage. In comes NoName. Health bar so low. Quas dies. IWillDominate. First one away as Voyboy also drops 2 for 0. Into the base they go. Xpecial will make a third. Flays away. Doesn't matter. 4 members dead for Curse. This is sure to be LMQ grabbing a lot.
Woo! XiaoWeiXiao back on Orianna. Huge shockwave to end out the game. 13-0. And they don't even get to the Nexus. Surrender comes in. 2-2, all tied up here.
Yep.
Next winner, next exploded Nexus. The winner goes to Worlds.
And wow, could you believe it as well? Curse starting out so cleanly 2-0. LMQ stay on track. They push it back through, and they take the next 2 games down. Now, I don't even know what mindsets are like anymore.
Well, they've got to be good for LMQ because coming out and losing the first two games, it feels so good to make the comeback and actually be the team that recently won the last 2. And they also defeated Voyboy's Yasuo. So even if that was a mental block, they've taken that out as well.
And even still, you've got XiaoWeiXiao, who's finally shown more scary team fighters. I'm glad he went for Orianna, by the way. It was, I think, a pretty big factor. His shockwaves were great so far this game and helped him kind of clinch team fights. And you still have to fear his Yasuo, though. You have to fear his Orianna still. We've really yet to see teams heavily change their ban strategies. We've seen them add 1 or 2 champions to the pool, but like, they're never like, you know what, never mind top lane bans. Just ban out Voyboy, or just ban out XiaoWeiXiao. And I wonder if that is the right call, though.
I think some jungle focus is actually in order. I'm not just saying that because I focus on it a lot. The Kha'Zix has been an issue, but really, Elise has been a detriment more so than Kha'Zix has been a big issue. I think if Dominate could take away Kha'Zix, he has performed very well on that champion too. And it would also put NoName back on maybe something like Lucian where he has struggled himself. So maybe this Kha'Zix is worth fighting over more.
I think I agree actually with this one. We're going to see what kind of changes are made in Game 5 here. But for more on the